Have some fun, everyone! Everyone on the YouTube, it's me, Crazy Memphis, here with the 100 days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Where every day for 100 days we dual digitized copies of thin pasteboard every single day. Today is the 44th day, the last day of controlling people and making them rethink their life choices. And today, we have a deck that does that better than any other deck. A deck blessed by the powers of chaos itself, which is the Mind Games deck. A deck so overly convoluted that no one knows what to make of it. So we have our deck today. We're going to be showing off the combos and wombos and all the little things you like to see in this deck, which you never know what's going to happen with it. So we're going to head on in and show off what this card deck can do and have a good time. So if you want to rack your brain thinking of how this works and know what cards we're playing, it's at the end. For now, sit back, relax, and prepare yourselves. Hey everybody, it's time for the first duel of the day. Another day and another time for me to troll people. Let's see. Not a great hand, but I can make it work. It's one of those decks that can make it work. So we're up against, Trickstars. Indeed. So my opponent is playing a trolley deck of their own. I can appreciate this. And he has all the Trickstars in the world. That'll work just fine. Alright. It doesn't really matter too much. I mean, he'll get a card. He'll get two of these monsters on his board and the trap card as well. But it doesn't matter what he does. For whatever my opponent decides to do, I'll have a counter to it. Let's see. It's true, I will lose some of my cards, but I will get even more cards, and this will work just fine. So we're going to summon out of the AD Changer and activate Monster Gate. This will send up my monster to the grave and get me some cards in my graveyard as well. Very good, and I get to summon out this giant monster. This is Goldilocks, the Battle Landscaper. Let's see. I can switch it over to a different zone and destroy things. That is true. Tis true. But I'll activate the Time Tag Morganite instead. That way I get even more draws and things. So let's attack our opponent's monsters and see what happens. So I'll attack with this large monster, then destroy his smaller monsters. So I'll send all these other trap cards face down. It'll end my turn right there. That'll work just fine. I have a very nice opening to myself. I've got this here battle landscape creature. A giant edifice to humanity's hubris it is. And other than that, I have a lot of good cards as well. Let's see. I do have my Black Goat That Laughs trap. Very nice card. Indeed. Because it'll stop my opponent from special summoning certain creatures. And I can also stop monsters from using their effects. But I won't be using it just yet. Not just yet. I mean, what does he have? 2 monsters and a third? Not that big of a problem. Let's see. This'll work. This'll work just fine. Like I said, with this deck, my opponent never knows what they're going to be able to predict what I'm going to do. They don't know what my deck is capable of. And yes, he'll get another one of these Trickstars on the board. Not a big problem, not at all. Let's see here. Let me think about this. A lot of things I can do. A lot of things I'd like to do. I'll use transaction rollback, though, in order to destroy their entire board. Very good. So I'll destroy everything my opponent had, and yes, I'll bring back 1 monster. Not a big problem. It's just 1 monster. I can easily destroy this creature. Alright, so now what are you going to do? Nothing, of course you can't. This is Mind Games. There's nothing you can do against it. So let's see here. I'm going to summon this creature, the soul-eating raptor. I'm going to devour their souls with it. This will search out one of my giant dinosaurs. Now, I can't get it into my... I can't summon it now. That's the thing about ripping through space and time, of course. Sometimes you have risks for that. But it's not a big issue. I could simply tribute summon it right now if I wanted to. Do I want to yet? It's hard to say. But I could also use Silent Wolf Calipo. This will equip the top card of my deck to my monster face down. My opponent has to guess what it is if he wants to get rid of it. And if he gets it wrong, he loses cards in his hand. So we're off to an amazing start here. This is what the mind games is all about. Simply destroy your opponent with everything you have. So we'll do lots of damage to my opponent. Not quite enough. We'll leave him scrounging on the ground, of course. But that's just what this deck does. It leaves your opponent reeling and they don't know what to do with themselves. So let's see. I activate our Calop's effect during the end of phase. My opponent must now guess what is equipped to my monster. And they don't know what it is. Maybe they'll get it right. Maybe they won't. It's hard to say. Doesn't matter either way. It's not going to save them. It's literally not going to save my opponent anything. Let's see. Cost a monster? Well, you're wrong. You now lose one of your cards. Very good. Now, Calop is back in my hand. That's good. I can use its effect again if I'd like to. So what can my opponent do? Summon another Candida. My friend, you are very, very much not going to win this duel. You don't even understand how far away you are from that. You can get your light stage. This will add you another monster. That's true. True. Potentially true. Let's see. That's fine. It's absolutely fine. You'll activate your Lily Bell monster. All right. That's fine indeed, because when this does damage, you might be able to add more cards back, but not if I use Lost Wind on it. So yes, the Lily Bell will attack, but unfortunately for you, sir, I have the Lost Wind. You are not but a lost child now. Lost indeed. I might take more damage, but I really can't. I don't need to take anything less than full damage to lose. And I'm not planning on it. Alright, so you'll use the stage spell. Let's see. Every time a Trickstar... Alright. I'm fine with... You hit the black note that laughs. The black note will laugh indeed. But now that this is sent to the graveyard, I'm perfectly fine with that. Let's see. Yes, Lost Wind. Come back to the field. Come back. What does this do? Monsters summoned, gain 200 life points. Discard a Trickstar. Both players draw a card. Alright, I like cards. Ooh. Alien Infiltrator. I like that card. I like that card a lot. Let's see. Yes, I don't need that card. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed. Alright, let's see. Your opponent's field is in the same column, indeed. So, I can summon forth my Alien Infiltrator. Well, I was going to attack him directly, but my opponent surrendered because I knew it was over. But that is what this deck does. It breaks my opponent's spirit, destroys their will, annihilates everything they'd like to do. So I'm happy with it. I'm so happy. So very happy. Well, that is what the deck will do multiple more times. So let's go for the second opponent and show off more of the crazy conundrums my opponents are in store for. Alright, everyone, it's time for the second opponent of the day. Another day, another victim to play. Let's see here. I'll go in second. That's fine with me. I have a lot of going second things. Alright, so what are we going to draw into? Not bad. Not bad at all. We'll start with our Cyberdark Claw monster. This lets me get into my very small but very potent card pool that is the Cyberdarks. Such edgy creatures indeed. And this will allow me to go ahead and get the Cyberdark Cannon. This way I can send my slushies to the graveyard. It's an amazing card. It lets me send all the slushie I want to the grave. Alright, but let's summon out a monster for free, because the spell allows me to do this. And we'll summon out our Cyberdark Edge and equip the cannon. Oh! Well, my opponent isn't quite without teeth after all. Very well. Let's see here. Why not? I summon out the eccentric boy. For this allows me to synchro summon with the cards in my hand. So I shall use eccentric boy with my silent wolf to summon out the samurai destroyer. Now granted its effects are negated, I can't do much with it, but if it's destroyed, I'll simply bring it back. Very well. So what is my opponent playing? White forest cards. Ooh. Ooh, indeed. Very well. So we'll do some damage to my opponents, not as much as I would have liked to done, but that's quite alright. We'll activate our time-tearing Morganite for later, and we'll end our turn at that. It's a start to many things. So what can my opponents do is the question. Because all I've done so far is set a monster in defense mode. As for me, I was going to do the Sabotarks, but then the mortal got in my way. He's not going to like that he got in my way. Look at this. My opponent has no cards. He's got no cards to summon. Ooh, hello. Caius the Shadow Monarch. I like that card. I will activate my instant fusion spell. I'll pay some life points and summon out Relinquished Restrict for later. I can simply bring him back with other cards, but we're going to go ahead and trip him off to summon out Caius the Shadow Monarch. And that way I can simply remove my opponent's card from play. Very well, and we shall attack our opponent with everything we have. Very good indeed. This is what this deck is about. Putting my opponent on their toes, and they don't know what to do about it. Now, fortunately, my opponent seems to be having a bit of deck trouble. But then again, if your deck isn't as consistent as this one, what do you expect? This deck has ultimate consistency, ultimate replayability. You never know what you're going to get till you get it, but you always get the right cards. Very well, we'll end our turn right there. Alright, so now what can my opponent do? Can he do anything at this point? I don't even know. Possibly. Possibly not. Hard to say. But I have a very nice setup on my board. I have 3 monsters, a trap, and a spell card. Very well. My opponent has this creature. What does it do? Setting a spell trap to do a special summon, which you didn't do. Very well. My opponent is going to attack me. My opponent has given up all hope. Exactly what we want to see indeed. So very well, my opponent has surrendered their life to me, as one would do. So let us go for the 3rd duel and continue to troll people like we want. Alright, everyone, it's time for the 3rd opponent of the day, and it's time for us to hit our opponent. What? Where did these come from? I didn't put these in the deck. How did that happen? Well, it did win me the duel, so I guess that's just the deck playing tricks on me. Alright. So we summoned out Exodia the Forbidden One. I have to double check the deck to make sure that doesn't happen again. I love chaos. Listen, I love chaos. It's my lifeblood. I will literally die without it. But I want the chaos to be my brand. This wasn't what I put in here. So, yeah, let me check the deck again. We'll go for another duel because that is a win. And a win is a win. It's a win for us. But this is not the card I wanted to summon out. Alright, everyone. Time for the 4th duel of the day. Time for our next victim. Possibly the last one. Who knows? I could literally play this deck all day. I don't think it'll matter. Because at no point are we ever going to be at any threat of anything. Now, let's see. More Trickstars again? Nah. I already played this deck. I'm already uninterested. Alright. Well, my opponent will summon out a Trickstar again, I suppose. And get himself another monster, I suppose. Don't you just hate it when you destroy a deck and then it comes back? I don't appreciate it at all. Alright, so you've got yourself a monster. You've got another... Okay. Little different this time. Last time my opponent played the red one, that one's purple. Purple is a different color than red, therefore it's a different deck. Alright, that's fine. Fine with me. Very well. Very well. What are you going to do now? You're going to summon out another monster. So you're going to be playing the Link monsters, I see. Fascinating indeed. Ooh. Although with this hand, I don't think it would matter really what you summon out. I have pretty much an idyllic hand. An idyllic hand, like a field of flowers on fire. Something like that. So what are you going to summon? Yeah, summon out this monster. This will add a Trickstar fusion spell. Very well, alright. This adds blue tiers cards. But I have the Oradora of Fate, so none of this is really mattering. Not especially, for with the Oradora of Fate, I can give a monster 1,000 extra attack points. And if I happen to have one of my dragons or dinosaurs or sea serpents on the bottom of the deck, I'll get to draw a whole bunch of cards when I destroy your monsters, so I'm good with this. I'm good with everything happening here. Very well, you have your Trickstar Fusion spell. What does this monster do? This adds the blue tier card. What does the blue tier card do? Let's see. Special summons a monster. Target a summon monster. Destroy it. Well, thankfully, I don't need to special summon anything at all. Don't need to worry about anything of that nature. Let's see. I like it. I like it a lot. You'll get a monster on the board, but that's fine. What can he possibly summon that will worry me? Not a lot of things. Very well. You'll summon out this monster. Let's see. Gets a Trickstar card. Effect damage is inflicted. Inflict damage. Very well. So if effect damage is inflicted, damage will be inflicted. Let's see. Monsters cannot be destroyed. Battle, you say. Well, that's unfortunate. Well, actually, that only works for the Link monster, so that's not a big problem. Let's see. Very well. And this is going to get you back your Corbane monster, but that's fine. Corbane won't help you very much in this situation, but good effort. Good effort. I like the hustle. You get a clap. You get a clap for all the hustle. All right, are you done yet? Because I'd like to make my turn. I already know what I'm planning to do, so I'm not sure why you're waiting so long. You're going to bring back another monster, you say. Oh. Because if I play spells, I'll lose my attack power. Very well. Let's see. That's a once per turn thing, so I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters very much at all. So you get your blue tiers trap card and possibly something else, and what am I up against? Not a whole lot. Not that much, really. Very well, very well, very well. So as soon as my opponent finally finishes, because I've known what I was planning to do for the beginning of this turn, so it's time for us finally. Very well. The brain controller. Not a bad card, not a bad card. We're going to start with That's 10. Every time any card is activated, like those cards, this is going to get counters upon it. That's why every time a counter is played and we count ourselves up, we get 10 of those counters, and I can effectively destroy everything my opponent loves. Alright, so now that he's done damage, oh yes, he could destroy That's 10, I suppose, but he's not probably going to do that. So, what we're going to do, yes. We'll summon out our blue one to read Robina. So when this is summoned forth, I can get myself a bird. And we're going to put this bird in the middle column. Right, yes. Because we want to be in the center of it all. Like this. So as we summon forth our bird, we'll get ourselves our counters. Very good. And I'm going to activate my Oradora of Fate spell. Paying 1,000 life points to give my bird 1,000 attack points. Now I'll take damage. That's true. That's true. But it doesn't really matter too much. Because he can reduce my attack if he wants to. I'll be fine with that. He can't even target me. He can't target this bird. Can't target the bird. Can't target a lot of things. So yes, the Noble Angel will activate, but my opponent was foolish to do so. Because he can't target my bird. He'll destroy this bird. I don't need this bird anymore. This bird did its job. The bird has done its job, and that's all I needed to do. Very good. I'll get myself another counter, and hey, another counter as well. More counters. Alright, so what do I want to destroy is the question. Let's see. Control Trickstar. This card sent to the grave is link material. I'll face down cards. Interesting indeed. Well, now he's already done that, I might as well play my Moon Mirror Shield on my monster, so it can't be bested in battle either. Very good. So now we'll have ourselves nice and protected from anything my opponent might want to do, because that trap doesn't do anything to my monster. And so let us enter the battle phase and start destroying my opponent's cards. So I'll destroy... I'll destroy this one. I don't think it matters too much. No. But I'll destroy my opponent's monster. He might go for Koro Bane or something of the like. I think he added one to his hand. I think he did, but it won't matter too much. Because I'll simply destroy it regardless. Yes. Waste your Koro Bane. For my Moonbear shield has yet to activate. So my monster will destroy his. Very good. And now, thanks to the Urador of Fate, I look at the bottom card of my deck, and let's see if we get a dinosaur or a sea serpent or not. We shall soon find out. Oh? More damage. But I get to get more cards, so let's see. Do I want it on the top, or do I want it on the bottom? I'll keep it on the bottom. That's fine. I'll get to draw 3 cards and get life points back. So that's good for me. So let's set a card from our hand to the face down. And for now, that will do. That will do just fine. So now my opponent needs to worry about having to deal with my bird here. Can't be targeted, can't be destroyed, can't be beaten in battle. What can the Trickstars do? You came back looking for retribution. I don't think you're going to be getting any retribution today. So now what can you do? You've got your, right, the light stage. Well, if I lose a card, that's fine. I don't really need to keep all my traps. In fact, the more traps in the grave, the better. Once I get my Trap Gatherer equipped spell, each trap will give my monsters even more power to them. Very well. Another Candina. Interesting indeed. Indeed. What can it do? What can it possibly do against this? Because that trap doesn't do you any good anymore, does it? I don't need to special summon anything. That's the power of this deck. I don't need to special summon at all. It's completely optional. Now what is he going to search? A reincarnation? Another fusion spell, perhaps? Hard to say. You'll add the Licorice monster. Very well. Very well indeed. So that's 10 will activate now, and I'll get another counter. We have 4 counters away from this activating, by the way. And that will allow me to get out my That's Finished card. So I can destroy all my opponent's cards. Oh, you fool. Everything you do is just squirming and cowering in the power of what our deck can do. So what are you going to do now? What can you do? This bird is bewitching, isn't it? And that's all it's going, that's what it's called. It's called the Ghost Bird of Bewitchment. Therefore, it will keep bewitching people. Alright, so now my opponent has summoned forth another Trickstar monster. And he'll summon out the Licorice monster, I see. Of course, like I said, anytime my opponent does anything, that will activate my spell. So I'm really fine with him continuing to do things. 3 more card effects is all I need. Discard a Trickster card. Both players will draw another card. True. And that will cost me life points, because that is what his card does. Ooh, Morganite. I do like that. I do like that quite a bit. Alright. Yes, indeed. Activate once again. That's 10. It'll be 10 very soon, indeed. Oh, and you're activating another card. You fool. I'm only 1 card effect away from activating my trap card. Then what are you going to do about it? Granted, that trap of his might work up my trap, but it doesn't matter. He doesn't know that. I don't even know that. Therefore, no one can know that. So now what? You've got your Narcissus. You've got everything else. You're going to revive yet another monster, I see. Very well. Very well indeed. Who would you revive in this case? You'll bring back the Angel, you say? Very well. But that will place the 10th and final counter on my spell. Therefore, I can finally activate That's 10. And I can activate your finished trap card. Now, granted, I'll take a bit more burn damage, but I don't really care. Let's see. I shall activate, let's see, this counts as an effect monster, that is true. But it is bigger than his monsters. That is a tricky thing. What did that trap of his do again? My original attack was 1500. Alright, well, I'll leave the trap alone for now. I don't need to waste it. It's fine. If it wasn't for this trap, I would play it right away, but I don't need to waste my trap. In fact, potentially could have gone for a different trap. Indeed. Indeed. Alright, during the end of phase, I shall activate my trap. The You're Finished trap card. And we'll see where this is going to go, because he'll activate a card effect. You fool! Because now I can destroy all of your cards! You fool! You got complacent! Ooh, Yadagaru. Very nice. Alright, let's see here. I'm going to reactivate this. You might think there's no points to it, but I have another trap monster, so why not? Let's see. I will summon out my soul-eating Overraptor friend. I think that will work just fine. So I can get my Tyranno monster to my hand. Ah, my foolish fool of an opponent. You had a chance. Will not pretend like you didn't have one, but unfortunately you're a fool. A fool who fell for the potential at retribution. But 'twas not to be. No, 'twas not to be at all. Alright, the duel's not quite over. Let's be fair. Let's be fair. They're not 100% dead yet, although they're pretty darn close. I'll summon out Relinquished for later. Also, so I can put more counters on my card. Very good. And I shall end my turn there. That'll destroy my monster, but that's fine with me. So now what can my opponent do? Indeed. What is this? Barrier Statue of the Heavens. Well, the heavens, well, we don't agree with those. Oh, who am I kidding? That's all part of the same roiling, boiling part of chaos, isn't it? Regardless. Anyway, my opponent summoned out a monster that stops me from special summoning, which again, I don't special summon that much. So it doesn't really affect me at all. So my opponent is attempting to attack my Overraptor. Difficult to say. Are you surrendering the duel? No, you did have a card. Unfortunate. I was going to use my Tyranno, but this works just fine. So yes, your monster will be able to destroy mine. True enough. Twice over, in fact. However, I survived. Therefore, I didn't do you any good. Alright. A tricky little thing, aren't you? A tricky little thing. Let's see. I'm low on the life points now. I shall activate my time-tearing Morganite. Now that I can't use this, my Tyranno in the hand, I will do that. Let's see. I shall summon out my Alien Infiltrator that can attack directly, and I shall summon forth... Let's see. Yes, this will work. I summon out the Brain Controller monster. So this is summoned forth. I can add Brain Control, and my opponent surrenders. Well, that's how it goes. My opponent wanted revenge, but it was not to be. For our deck is too powerful. So let us go for the end of screen now. I think it's time to end this one. As much as I can do this literally all day, you know, it's not going to be... My opponents won't get any stronger or anything. They're all too weak to this deck. Alright, everyone at home, the ultimate mind games deck of 2025 went 4 wins out of 4 duels, as I would expect this deck to do. For it is literally unstoppable. Nothing can defeat it, for it embodies the power of chaos itself. You can't stop that. There's nothing that can do it. Stop trying to stop it. It is inevitable. Stop it. But yes, that was a good day today. We got to show off a lot of the cards in this deck. Not every card. Regrettably, my opponents were too weak for that. If they had lasted a little longer, then perhaps we could have done everything in the deck. But unfortunately, they didn't. So, we got to show off a lot of what this little thing can do. And if you keep staring at it long enough, eventually it'll drive you insane, and you'll get to see all the cards. So, here is the deck profile. So, you get to know what we were doing today. I shall now explain it. So, for our deck today, we had 1 copy of the Cairo Enva. We have 1 Goldilocks. We have Archaeus the Mega Monarch. We have Doodle Beast Tyranno, 1 Archfiend's Commander, 1 Caius the Shadow Monarch, 1 Lucent the Netherlord. We have 1 Archfiend of Gilfer, Grasshopper, Flying Elephant, Soul-Eating Overraptor, Silent Wolf Kalupo. We have our Hypnocorn, Ghost Bird of Bewitchment, Yano Karu. We have Cyberdark's Edge, Cannon, and Claw. We have Rampaging Rhinos, the Pump Princess, Princess of Ghosts, 1 Eccentric Boy, 1 Dice Jaw, Alien Infiltrator, 3 copies of Slushy, 1 copy of our Rapina, 1 Amoeba, 1 copy Brain Controller, 1 AD Changer. We have Instant Fusion, Morganite, our Uradora of Fate. We have Creature Swap as well as Monster Gate. We have Card Destruction as well as Foolish Burial. Monster Born with Brain Control, Boogie Trap, and Super Polymerization. We have our Sea Spires and our Cyberdark Realm. That's 10, and the Moon Mirror Shield. We have Trap Gatherer as well as Shooting Starbow Seal, and Way There's a Will. We have things like Transaction Rollback, Nitwit Outwick, the Black Goat That Laughs, 1 Elemental Burst. We have our Dimensional Wall. We have Liberty at Last, Lost Wind. We have Breakthrough Skill, Metal-Reflex Slime. We have Non-Fusion Area, Blades Accelerator Reload to screw with my opponents even harder. And lastly, you're finished. Now, as for the extra deck, it's, pretty relevant, but I play it sometimes. We have Underclock Taker and Space Insulator. We have Ripple Bird, as well as Digital Bug Scaradiator. We have number 30. We have the Arlotep. He's my cousin, We have our things, our Barometer the Sacred Sheep Scrub. We have our Musical Sumo Dice Games. We have Samurai Destroyer, Relinquished Millennium Eyes, 1 Mud Dragon, 1 Garura, 1 Starving Venom, 1 Egyptian God Slime, and the Starving Venom Predator Power Monster. As to the side deck, there's got the cards you can play, of course. There's things like Heretic Dragon if you want another level 6 for our Reg 6 monster. Things like our Yugioh Invader to mess with the columns, of course. We have things like Mystic Huddler to recover cards. We have Primal Dragon, because if this is tributed, I can make a monster attack twice. We have our Diamond Dude to send out spells to the grave to copy their effects. We also have the Protector of Sanctuary, because this works really well with the Spire spell. We have more Rampardos to make more powerful monsters. Cyber Jars, 1-for-1s. Pretty basic cards all around, but they're all cards that can work with the deck as well. So I hope everyone at home enjoyed today. You better have. So yes, everyone, that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed. And we say goodbye to Troll Week. Forever. Porgy is gone now, but we went out, as we'd like to do, trolling people. That was the name of today's game, and that's what we did. So, as always, subscribe to the channel, help us grow the family even more, especially if you like to troll people, like what I do. So yes, that was today. Tomorrow will be the Dark Magician Girl deck. Ooh, yes. She's so pretty and all that. But, it was fun. It was fun to troll people one last time. So I hope you had a good time. I certainly did. And I'll see you all again very soon.